Amy from the Sparkle Finder, and today we're going to be talking toothpaste. Now, I've tried a couple different toothpastes in the past month or so that are supposed to whiten teeth and things like that. And so I'm sharing my results, but it's a long story of how we got here. As some of you guys know, I had a cheerleading accident in high school that knocked my front teeth sort of backwards. And so the teeth themselves, I think, sort of died and they started to get discolored. And so I started using, I got composites, which are like when they paint over your teeth with that stuff they use for fillings, the white filling material. And that worked okay, but that doesn't last that long and you have to keep getting it done. Another problem that I had with it was that whitening toothpaste do nothing on composites. So you can use a whitening toothpaste and your teeth will get whiter, but mine was my front teeth, the composites won't change color. So I was having a real mismatch in colors. So I finally decided to get veneers on my front two teeth, and you probably followed that whole saga. But before that, I wanted to make sure I whitened my teeth to get them the lightest they could be so that when they went to match my front teeth with the rest of my teeth, it was like a nice white color. So I tried a bunch of different stuff. Now the first one I tried was Twice. There we go. Twice. And you can see it's got a day and a night formula. And this is probably known as like the Lenny Kravitz toothpaste. Someone recommended this to me on Tumblr. And I looked into it, and then I went to CVS and I went and found it. It was hard to find because it was on an end cap. It wasn't with the other toothpaste. But it comes in a day and a night, and you don't, I mean, this one's called Early Bird, this one's called Twilight. You don't have to probably use, to me it seemed sort of gimmicky, that the nighttime one is just, it's got lavender and peppermint and vanilla. So it's like a relaxing, you know, get you ready for bedtime toothpaste. The Early Bird is wintergreen and peppermint, and it was pretty much like a standard toothpaste. I did like these toothpastes. I did try it and I was using them for a little bit before. This was actually before I decided to get veneers. So I had been using this, and one thing I liked about it is that it's not abrasive and it was not sensitive. I used to use 3D white on my teeth and I was getting a lot of tooth sensitivity. And this actually is not supposed to give you tooth sensitivity, and I found it didn't. Now, one thing that's common with all the toothpastes I'll be talking about today is that these whitening toothpastes aren't gonna give you that same, at least in my experience, give you that same foamy, really frothy kind of toothpaste feeling. They also, they have really nice flavors, every single one of these, but they aren't really strong flavored to where you brush your teeth and you feel like, like I have like totally fresh breath. And I think it's because their formulas are a little more, they're meant to be whitening toothpaste and not necessarily, you know, crazy peppermint fresh breath toothpaste. And because they don't foam as much and get very, it's like frothy, I guess is the only word I can think of. They don't kind of give that same feeling. And that's probably an adjustment. You know, the one thing using these whitening toothpaste was that it's not kind of the same as using like a Crest or a Colgate. So, you know, you might want to use a mouthwash after, whatever. But the Twice, I liked both these flavors. The peppermint with vanilla and lavender was actually surprisingly, it doesn't really taste like you'd expect toothpaste to taste, but it was really good. I liked both of these. And like I said, they made my teeth feel nice after I brushed. It was a very smooth feeling. So I can see why people like these. They are a little, I didn't think they were that much more expensive but there's two of them. It kind of doubles the cost. But like I said, you can get these in CVS or online. They are a little harder to find, so look around. It took me like 2 tries to find them, but I finally did find it. So the next toothpaste is the Opalescence, and this is a smaller one. It came with a whitening pack I got from my dentist prior to getting veneers. So when I went to the dentist and I said, hey, I'm gonna get veneers, and we went through that whole process, before we went to actually get the veneers, they told me to whiten my teeth for like 10 days or however, 2 weeks, whatever it was. So I got the Opalescence trays. Now those are good. I've actually used them before and I didn't realize it was the same until I went to use them and I was like, oh, I've done this before. But the Opalescence trays actually did make a huge difference. Like you can see my side teeth are very white. And I did it for 10 days and I didn't even leave it on the max because I have a really hard time with those trays. Even though these were supposed to be a little nicer, a little easier, I foam up like crazy when I do them. So it was very hard for me. That was a terrible process getting to that point, but it does work and I would recommend them. I wouldn't say it was, some people complain about sensitivity with the whitening, and I probably did experience some of that, but it was more like you feel like, not a burning sensation, but it's definitely that white. If you've ever done a whitening tray before, you know what I'm talking about. And I did have that a little bit with the Opalescence. Now this is just the toothpaste that came with it, and I did use this while I was doing the trays, and I think it's a good, I liked it. Same deal with the Twice toothpaste. It's not a super strongly flavored toothpaste, and it doesn't get real foamy and stuff, but it feels like it does the job. So these you can get on Amazon, you can get them online from the company. And a lot of dentists also carry this because the Opalescence is part of like a dental, they have a whole system, and there's a dental version that's like faster. But you can find these, and the trays were like, I want to say $70, and it included this little toothpaste. You can get them on Amazon too. But I liked all of those, both the toothpaste and the trays. I think did a really good job of getting my teeth nice and white prior to getting the veneers. So my last toothpaste that we're going to talk about is Super Smile. And I really liked the Super Smile. I'm using it now, and the one main difference that I'm finding is that you don't wet the toothbrush. And I keep having to stop myself because I want to like wet the toothbrush before I do it, but this is just the original mint flavor. It has like a bunch of different flavors, and they do some special flavors online, limited edition, all that stuff. So definitely check those out. A lot of people like the rose. I think there's like a rose flavor that I'm very curious about. Now the Super Smile, why I like it and why I'm using it now is that it's meant to work with dental work, like veneers and things like that. And so it helps. One thing with veneers and dental work, if you have it, like some toothpaste are very abrasive, and it'll scratch your teeth, scratch your dental work and stuff. So one thing I looked into, because I'm a Googler, was like, what are the toothpastes that are not gonna like scratch up everything? And this one is made to work with veneers. So that's why I like this one. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it online from their website. And again, it's like the others, it doesn't really foam up a lot. This one gets very, like, I won't say frothy, but liquidy. Like it mixes, it seems, you put it on without water and just start brushing. And as I go, it mixes with your saliva, and I'm usually erupting in like toothpaste liquid by the end of like, a minute and a half. I aim for 2 minutes. I never quite make it that far. So that's the one with this. It doesn't really get frothy, and again, it's not like a super freshening kind of toothpaste, but I think it does the job of keeping teeth white. I drink a ton of coffee, probably, if we're guessing, 4 cups a day. So it's a lot of coffee, and that's really the only thing I drink a lot that could stain my teeth, but because of that, I do want to keep on top of it because I really like my veneers, and I want to keep everything sort of matching. I finally have a smile that matches and doesn't have 2 discolored teeth in the front. So that's the whole array of toothpaste I have tried in the last like month or so. And hopefully if you want to try these, I recommend all of them. It just depends on what you're kind of going for and what your needs are, but they are a little more on the expensive side. The Twice is probably the most affordable, Super Smile and Opalescence, because they are kind of made for whitening, I think are a little more expensive. So go find them. I'll link to them if I can find links to all of them, but I recommend them all. Thanks for watching.